Hey guys, welcome to the Being Beautifully Honest channel and podcast. If you are on the podcast platforms, please do hit that subscribe button. And if you are on YouTube, I would appreciate you doing the same, as well as hitting the like button while you're at it. It's like walking into the room and hitting that light switch. We just want to go ahead and brighten up the place. And let's get into this conversation. I wasn't sure if I was going to talk about this, but because I'm just going to try to make it as brief as possible. But we all have been seeing the Tory Lanez trial that's been going on, and it's the state versus Tory Lanez. It's not actually Megan Thee Stallion, the rapper, suing Tory Lanez or pressing charges, but she is cooperating in the situation because she was the victim, allegedly, in the situation. Look, I don't have a dog in this fight. I don't listen to Megan Thee Stallion's music. I don't listen to, I don't watch what she does. To me, I'm not a fan of it, but I'm not sitting over here going to judge it because I just don't have anything to do with it. But I've just been seeing a lot, and it's crazy how this young lady, because I'm going to call her a young lady, she has been the victim in this situation. Her foot, she didn't lie about her foot being injured. I mean, it happened. But was it intentional? And who actually was the one that fired off the shot that affected her foot or feet? We don't know. And I believe that's what the trial is trying to come to the conclusion of and figure out. But again, I really think it's sad. I don't know her full story. The only things that I know are the things that I've seen in articles or things that I've read or things that I've heard in other, videos or content and things that she even said. Because I remember when the situation went down in 2020, I saw clips of her live videos and she discussed some things. And we also know that she's going through a lawsuit with her former label with regards to some contract situations. But, what I wanted to talk about in this conversation is the fact that Megan Thee Stallion, she is, even though she's an adult, we get it, she's not a teenager, she has been affected by some really major things that I don't think a lot of people are speaking about and giving her the grace for. But ironically, even though Ye or Kanye has been getting the ramifications for his words, there are still people out here that are really championing him and giving him an excuse for his actions and the things that he has been saying and doing, saying that, well, he's bipolar, his mom died. His mom, yes, she died tragically. It never should have happened. But people still use that as an excuse for him and his actions. And I'm not telling anyone how to feel or how long they should be grieving for the loss of a family member or a loved one. Ever. I would never tell anyone how long they should be feeling a certain type of way. But so many people have lost loved ones and they don't go out here and do a lot of the things that would cause them to lose in so many different ways or affect other people. And yeah, there are definitely some people that do those things, but most of the time it definitely is because of a mental health illness. But don't use bipolar as an excuse for why he has done the things that he has done. But yet people are saying a lot of disparaging things about Megan Thee Stallion because of an interview that she did with Gayle King, because of how she, with her career, she's dressing a certain type of way. She's twerking all the time in her, in her performances or just whatever, going out to the clubs on social media. And also talking about who she's slept with. But she lost her mom too and her grandmother. And she's spoken about that. And as a young lady, losing your mother is something that can be really tragic, especially when that is the person that you were really close to, because from what I have heard, she was really close to her mom. Her mom was actually the one that was instrumental in her even getting into rapping and getting into the music industry. I mean, but she doesn't get any grace for that, and people are not giving her any grace for some bad decisions that she may have made with sleeping with different people. But even with that being said, it really isn't any of our business who she sleeps with. But a lot of people make a lot of bad decisions because of how they don't even realize that has affected them. And instead of choosing to seek therapy, they're seeking solace and comfort in so many different ways. So when people say she drinks heavily, that probably is an effect of her losing her mother. But I'm actually going to play a clip of something. I'm not even going to say who it is. And I'm not coming against this person either that's saying what they're saying. But it's an excuse. It's not an excuse. It is an example of a lot of the people that have the same opinion about Megan Thee Stallion in this situation and not really giving her any grace for her actions or even understanding how she operated after the passing of her mother, or even in this situation with her being a victim of, and being injured by, we don't know yet, the trial is going on. The courts will determine if he was the one that pulled the trigger and if he's guilty or not guilty or whatever. But a lot of people feel the same way. And I'm just going to play this clip.
That's just my thought. That's my theory about the whole situation. I think it's very, very interesting. It's clearly lies. Kelsey is clearly backtracked. Something clearly changed. She clearly, I think she wanted to act like she was going to come in there and be the star witness for Megan Thee Stallion, but she knew that was her way of getting Megan Thee Stallion back. She was going to be a lousy witness because she was Megan Thee Stallion's witness. And she definitely did not do what they expected her to do. She pretty much was like, girl, I'm not here to help. Either side. I'm up here because I have to be here, but I'm not here to help you, bitch. So, girl, figure it out. But it's very clear that the game that's being played right now is the game of law and order. Can you prove I did it? We know Tory did it. But can you prove it? And the thing, I think people don't feel that bad for Megan Thee Stallion because they're starting to see that, girl, you're a little floozy and you're so mixy to a point where, girl, you have no loyalty to anybody, any of your friends, anybody. Like, you're trash. And then you're a liar. Because, girl, you said you weren't even sleeping with Tory Lanez. You went on Gayle King and said you never messed with Tory Lanez. You lied. Megan Thee Stallion, you're a liar. And a hoe.
Okay, so you heard that. And again, people are entitled to their opinions. I'm not here to knock anyone's opinions, but it is sad when, you have people calling her these names and they're not giving her any grace for the losses that she has experienced and saying, well, you know what? She's probably in this space where she didn't seek mental health help and getting therapy after losing her mother and her grandmother. Yes, she definitely should and could at this point. She definitely has the money to do so. I don't know if she's doing that now. I would hope that she is. But immediately after doing that and still pursuing her career in the music industry and wanting to make it and still going to school and whatever she was doing, she has made a lot of decisions that can be seen as bad choices. I wouldn't really say mistakes, so to speak, because your decisions are your decisions. They're just either, good decisions or maybe bad decisions or whatever. But she she deserves, I believe, the grace that a lot of men out here are championing for Kanye West, because they're still saying it to this day. He's bipolar. He lost his mom. He lost his mom years ago. And again, I'm not saying that because it happened years ago that he shouldn't feel any type of way. But again, having the money to seek the therapy, he's just in a place where, because he is a man, and it is definitely a patriarchal society that we live in, men are seen differently than women. The stereotypes, some of the stereotypes, they're there for reasons, and some of them actually, maybe you should take heed to them. People are not going to look at men who sleep around the same way they look at women who sleep around. People can try to level the playing field and champion people being promiscuous and sleeping around, not even people, but females who do that. But it's never going to change 100%. Women are never going to be seen the same way as a man who sleeps around. In my opinion, anyone who sleeps around, no matter if you're a male or a female, you're making, bad choices, but those are choices that you are choosing to make. But it makes me feel a little bit bad. I don't know what the outcome of the trial is going to be. I'm not here to talk about that. The court and the judge, they will make that decision and we'll see. But when I heard a clip that someone played of someone outside of the courthouse where they yelled at Megan as she was going into the courtroom saying, "Why are you lying on that man?" Were you there? But again, people are calling her a liar and they're calling her a whore, and they're not giving any sort of grace to her decisions that she has made based on losing people that were really instrumental in her life and very close to her, who were there to, help lead and guide her. And she doesn't have that anymore. So I just wanted to talk about that. Do you believe that she deserves to get grace like Kanye has been receiving from a lot of the males? We know he's been getting canceled here, there, and everywhere these days, and a lot of people thought that he wouldn't. I thought that, if he kept going, he would, and he is. He's losing a lot. He's still better off than a lot of us. I mean, financially right now, let's, be clear about that. But, people are still giving him grace because of him losing his mother and saying, well, he lost his mom. When I hear that to this day, but I don't hear anyone saying that with regards to Megan Thee Stallion, it's just a bit unfair. And I just wanted to talk about that. I'm not here to talk about who pulled the trigger. Was it her friend? Was it Tory Lanez? Did it even happen? Did her foot get cut by glass? There's so many different things I've been hearing. I'm not here to do any investigative reporting. I just wanted to speak about the treatment that she's been receiving versus the treatment and the understanding that Kanye West has received. So you let me know your thoughts about this in the comment section. Thank you so much for liking and subscribing. Until next time, this is Beth, and I'm just being beautifully honest.